Hello everybody and welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When we last left off, we were in the caves of the Avorrim, who are straight behind us here. And it was a nice place to be. The only down part being is these caves have no freaking vendors in them. There's not a supplier, not a healer. There's nothing in there except for the quest people. So we are heading on down the road a bit, probably to the Dol Amroth, perhaps. I think that's the nearest town to us here. And see if we can find some place to do a little bit of inventory control. Yep, Dol Amroth. Hellion doesn't have anything. And all they had, a Forge Master. I think that's it. Yeah, Provisioner. What we got? Another Provisioner there. Okay, that one we could do. Cut up through there. I think that would be probably quicker than going to Dol Amroth, so we're going to run up that way. I don't think we've been up that road. I don't think we came out over there, because we were headed down the road. So let's see where this little path leads us. What's the name of this spot? Up here near one of the beacons. And we can take a look at the beacon while we're at it, too. Alright, it is Saturday. We have got, I think, Tuesday. Yeah, the 15th. This Tuesday is when the Before the Shadow comes out, the latest expansion. Looking forward to that whenever I get around to it. It may be a little bit of a while. Cliff Hines. But otherwise, we are going to continue on. We've got some time here. It is now, well, let's see, 2:15 in the morning. As I've said, you know, I'm back at work. I worked the previous 2 nights. I'm off of this one. It's my second week back on the job. And discovered Amon Lontir. Okay. This must be the beacon, perhaps. Let's see. Whoops, not that one. Do we have a quest about checking out the beacons? Guide to the Quiet Knife. That's going to be Gondor. Beacons. There we go. Discover structures atop the hills of West Gondor. So we've discovered the Stone of Eric. Discovered the Beacon of Amon Lantir among the edges of the Emin and Ernil. It is the 9th South Beacon of Gondor. Okay. And quite a nice beacon it is. I say these are a tad more realistic than the just a tad more realistic than the beacons in the movies, that's for sure. Let's see, can we see other beacons from here? Should be able to. Let's see, where are you looking at? You're looking over that way. See any other beacons from this location? Yes, there's one there, there's one there, so we can see more beacons from here. Alright, good, I'm glad we can do that. Let's head on into whatever this section is and see what it is and find out. It's going to give us another discovered. You have discovered. Yes, Ostlantir. Thought we just found that. That was Amonlantir. So, Path of the Dead. Ostlantir, there we are. You've discovered the Gondorian town of Ostlantir, located near Amonlantir. Alright, let's do a quick travelogue entry. There you go, there's Ostlantir. We're gonna go over here, see if there is a stable master, and definitely talk to the suppliers and all, and get our inventory sorted. And I will see you again in just a moment when we head back, maybe to the thing. Let's see. Interlude, the Grey Company. Burglar. I don't see an epic. I just see that one. So yeah, we'll be going back into the caves to talk to the leader again, and that's where I'll pick up with y'all. So I will see you there.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Welcome back to the cave of the Avorrim. We're standing here at Dorthaneth. I'm enjoying some coffee. Made me a double shot of Stumptown Founders Blend. Pretty good. Pretty good. I prefer the Jittery Joes here in town, but especially they're Ethiopian. But it is decent, I have to say. Let's talk to Dorthaneth here. And here's why we couldn't find anything. Couldn't find it because we hadn't picked it up.
Go to Dol Amroth and give Lothriel my warning.
All right, Chapter 9, A Message for Lothriel. You must think I speak of leaving the world to its troubles, but even I, with every reason to do so before me, cannot truly withdraw. I have grown fond of Lothriel, the daughter of the Prince of Dol Amroth, who rules now in his absence. On several occasions she has escaped the watchful eyes of her guard, and come to visit me outside the walls of her city. The matters of which we spoke, not war, nor armies, nor weapons, they were matters of love and of marriage, for Lothriel is betrothed to a man she does not wish to marry. Such things are ladies' concern, and I counseled her on them as best I could. But now I must counsel her on these other concerns as well, weapons and armors, armies and war. I echo the worry of Galdor. She must not underestimate the heirs of Castamere, and the one they call the Scourge. Lothriel's father has been called to war in the east, but war finds her now in the west, and if either is lost, there will be no hope for the other when the night has come. Go to Dol Amroth and give her my warning. There is elvish blood in her line, but it is no sense of kinship that drives me in this. It is the love I bear for the dark-haired woman who spoke to me of her hopes and her fears when the moon was high over the sea, and banished sadness for a time. Travel to the entrance of Dol Amroth and present yourself to the guards. All right, that's what we will do. A message for Lothriel. Excellent. So, Lothriel has matters of the heart to deal with. Man, that exit there was as bad as some of the ones in Keletham and EverQuest, where you run for the edge of one of the platforms and hope there's a path down on the other side, and that you're not going to just plummet to the ground. All right. So, being that her hopes and fears about being betrothed to a man she does not love or wish to marry. Well, they're not saying she doesn't love him. They didn't say that, did she? Just who does not wish to marry. I mean, it could be someone who she knows and admires and loves and that kind of thing. But could even be a relative. You know how it is with those royal types. Could even be a relative of hers, maybe a cousin that she loves but does not wish to marry. So let's see how this one goes. As I say, this is one heck of a long... I'm glad we're not hopefully coming back to the caves of Avorrim, because that is a heck of a long run to get to a place that does not have any forms of dealers or vendors or anything like that. Good googly moogly. Let's not dive into the ocean. That is one way of getting to Dol Amroth, but not the way that I wish to go. On up the hill here. And we should have you've discovered Dol Amroth, I would imagine. Although I think we've actually been here before, because I think we were here before when we worked our way down to Minas Tirith for the first time. I think we came here, but we shall know here very shortly. A Warhound. the Cliff Warhound, I think. But it was a very chill one. It did not come after us. Alrighty. But yeah, here it is, like I said. 2:30 in the morning. Back at work again, so I'm starting to get back into the nighttime routine. I have to say that getting tired in the evenings has not helped me. The time change, we had our time change last weekend where we fell backwards and went back to standard time, and it has 6 o'clock now being 5 o'clock, as it were, has not helped my ability to not get tired from the chemo and everything. So that has been fun. But I still, wake up here in the middle of the night and find the whole, let's get busy. Oh, look at there. Isn't that an interesting thing? Let's zoom on in here as we ride up to the city. That face up above the doors there. Wow. I wonder if those are like Isildur and Elendil and the ancient kings of Gondor or Numenor or something. Let's come on in. You have come to the entrance of the docks of Dol Amroth. Alright, here are the guards, I would imagine, that we have to present ourselves to. The Book 1, Chapter 9?
Halt and speak your business, stranger.
There was a time when passage into the city was free and open, and none needed to answer questions. But those days are done. They will come again when the war is over. You say you have come with an urgent warning for Lothiriel from Dorthaneth, the leader of the Avorrim. Leader of the creeping elves, you should say, for that is closer to the truth. Some say there's elvish blood in Imrahil's line, but if so, I say it is a good ways back, and the prince has done a good job of not letting it master his senses. You may pass into the city. Lothiriel is fond of the elves, and her father is not here to speak against the meeting. It is not my place to speak for him, though I think his mind would be clear on this. Woohoo! Alrighty, well, if that's your racist attitude, we are definitely not going to take your quest. You can do your own damn quest, Find Lothiriel in the Great Hall. Alright, looks like the Great Hall is off to the left. So I'm hoping we have a passage out of here, back up from the docks. Now, I see vendors, that's good. Do we have a stable master or anything? That would be nice as well. Looks like that maybe goes up into the city. Yeah, these are the docks, so let's see about going on up into the city. A bunch of stairs to climb. No wonder everyone back then is as fit as they are. You don't see too many people like Bumblebee going around, Don't see too many bellies on people. There's a lot of stairs and stuff to climb in these places. Lots of hills, lots of stairs. Alright. Of course, on top of that, everything is burning. You got, as they call it, natural fuel sources everywhere. So I imagine a lot of people have got a bunch of lung disease, too. So you have to take the good with the bad. And with the amount of pipe weed we smoke, dang. Okay. Looks like we are about to enter into Dol Amroth proper here. Off to the left. And you see the emblems of the ships there that sailed from Numenor in the days during the fall. The Court of the Fount. That must be the Fount. Now let's see, it's on that way. Lore Master Armor. Light armor. See a bunch of stuff. Still not seeing a stable master, but I'm sure we will find it. Someone selling house decorations. That's cool as well. Bunches of bunchings of crafting areas. That's nice. We're gonna have to work on our crafting one day, right after I get that head tracker hook back up, you know? Alright, that is not an entrance. So let's see if perhaps we have one on up the hill this way. Trainers, training dummies. Oh, nothing there. I'm still presenting back over that way, and I'm assuming this place here is the palace or whatever, the Great Hall. Let's call it a palace. Let's call it what it actually is, okay? It's a palace. It's not a hall. It's a palace. These are the rulers. And I'm not seeing a gate we can go into, so...
Gondor needs your aid.
Dissenters. Yeah, let's not do that. I got no interest in... I got no interest in getting caught up in y'all's politics at the moment. I want to find Lothriel. I want to find the Great Hall here. Court of the Prince. That looks like it. Where the heck are we? We're way out here, so we need to come back here, go up here, and then cut across, and there's the stable master over there. So we need to go on past the what looks like stairs going further up. And then back a little further to where the stable master is. Yep. Alright, let's keep going this way. Back through where all the vendors were. The artisan's quarter here. I'll bet they will have a relic master too. We need to go visit one of those puddings. I'm on my off week. Things have been okay. The first and middle part of it, I was pretty wiped out there for a while, I have to say. I like Dol Amroth. It's a pretty place. I love the leaves. Very, very autumny, elven looking, you know. Alright, so it looks like that is the steps that we need to go up, but we need to go this way, I think, and find the stable master. Oop, discovered Dol Amroth. Well, look at there, would you? And that completed the prosperity of Western Gondor. And a whole bunch of stuff popping in here. Good God. LOTRO points granted. Alright, that's good. How many did we get for that? 5 LOTRO points for that. We got a title, Wanderer of West Gondor. You've explored Western Gondor in great detail. Alright. Deed completed. Prosperity of Western Gondor. All the Gondorian settlements. So we've done Morlad, which we're tired of the people wandering around. Good. We won't have to go to Morlad anymore. We discovered Lothgobel, the farming visit. That was eerily quiet. Hamlet of Dinadar. The town of Calimbel. The town of Tadrint. The town of Ostlontir, which we discovered just previously. Dol Amroth is the chief city and port of the fiefdom of Bethelus, standing on a rocky promontory overlooking the inlet into which the Morthrond River flows. Okay, so whoops, that's not what we wanted. We wanted to pull this back up. We've got a new deed. What is our new deed? Explorer of West Gondor. Explore the lands of West Gondor. Alright, so one of them is to the prosperity, which is the settlements. Then we have the, excuse me a second, Pass of the Dead, which we've not finished. Alright, there's still quite a few places here in West Gondor we have not finished exploring. There's our milestone. Can we bind here? And is it going to bind us to Dol Amroth this time? Let's see. Current home. Return to Morlad. Alright. Are you sure you want to set this location as your new bind point for the Return to Morlad? This will replace the skill's current bind load on Morlad, Western Gondor. Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully that's going to bind us here now instead of way over there and then having to ride. I don't know. I do not understand these milestones in this particular area at all.
How may I help you, friend?
Yes, see, we have indeed. We have indeed been here to Dol Amroth before. We have already grabbed that stable master. I figured we'd come here on our path to Minas Tirith that time. So that's good. Alright, up the hill. Let's find Lothiriel. And let's give her the warning from her elf friend. Despite the wishes of her guards, which, as they say, are just guards. They cannot speak against her. I'm glad to know that we're not in a Denethor type situation, or at least the movie version of Denethor. Have another little slam of coffee here as it cools down on me. Still halfway decent. It hasn't gotten cold. It's just kind of lukewarm now. Court of the Prince. So let's finish this off. Ah, that was decent still. Dol Amroth. Yeah, we already know that. That's one of the Swan Knights. Let's take a look at what the Swan Knight looks like. Wow. Awesome. Alright. Here's the Great Hall. Great Hall of the Prince. On inside. Ooh, alright. It's definitely, let's look. Time to look at the architecture. Quite nice. Quite nice. I like Gondorian stuff. I like the look of it. No, I gotta say my favorite architecture would still be Rohan. That type. My second favorite would still be the dwarves, like Moria. My favorite place to live would still be the Shire. So yeah. But this is very impressive. Although I don't know if I would have swans or whatever inside the house. Lothiriel is dark of hair with a somewhat elvish appearance. It has a gold ring floating above her head, so she shouldn't be too terribly difficult to find. I have to see where that goes. These stairs, they don't know it, don't they? Perhaps is this another steward's chair? Well, they go up to gated areas. That's where they go. Alright, Lothiriel. Let's see what you have to say. Is everything all right?
What brings you to Dol Amroth, adventurer?
Surely there's some danger to be found everywhere, and you seem a long way from your home. Lothiriel's face brightens considerably when you reveal that your message comes from Dorthaneth. She is one of my closest friends, and I have treasured our conversations. Recently, she had some wise counsel to provide about a delicate matter, but we need not speak of that. What message does she have for me now, friend of my friend?
I will take Dorthaneth's warning to heart, but I do not know much about the people of Umbar.
Chapter 10, Keepers of the History. You convey Dorthaneth's warning about the heirs of Castamere and the one they call the Scourge. Lothiriel frowns deep in thought. I will take Dorthaneth's warning to heart, but I do not know a great deal about the people of Umbar or their leaders. Every child of Gondor knows the tale of Castamere the Usurper, of course, but his is a name from long ago, and I thought his line was ended. I do not know. My father has always said the finest way to combat a new foe is to learn as much of the history and temper as you can before facing him on the battlefield. I think this is wisdom. There we go. Is it Machiavelli and the Prince? Is he the one that says something along those lines? Is he the one that coined "keep your friends close and your enemies closer"? Or at least that was his philosophy from it. And of course, you have the philosophy from Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. But Ender's Game, who Ender just found that to be able to destroy an enemy, he first had to love that enemy. He had to become, he had to bring them into their heart and know everything about them and love them before he would know how to destroy them. So let's see. To that end, I ask you to go to the libraries of Dol Amroth and to speak to Pethabir, the master of the archives. He was my tutor when I was just a child, and he believed I neglected my studies. This will not change his mind, but now I need information, and he will know where to find it. Learn from him everything you can about the Corsairs and their masters. Perhaps in so doing you will discover something that we can use to our advantage. Talk to Pethabir in the library of Dol Amroth. Sure. Go ahead and do that. Find where we're going here. That's right. He was the Swan Knights and the Swan Prince here. Remember the description of him riding the Prince Imrahil, was that his name? And his knights marching into riding into Minas Tirith. And then you really don't ever hear anything else from them, do you? Oops, must be 3 o'clock. It is indeed. I have another silver to open? I do. What did we get? 10 virtue appearance and 1,000 marks? 10,000 marks? 15,000 marks? 11,000 marks? I don't know. It is a hard one. 1,000 marks. Alright, that was a hard one to read up against those things. My glasses need cleaning. And they may even need strengthening. I had a situation where I was supposed to, that's the library of Safedzir. I was supposed to go yesterday and have an eye exam and perhaps get my yearly exam, but had things to do and my wife ended up postponing it to next Friday, so we shall see. Alright, so this is the library. Quite a nice library. Quite a nice courtyard, anyway. Not look like too many books, however. Alright. Pethabir.
Well, the scholars here are at your disposal, of course.
You look familiar. Lothiriel seeks information? What a wonder! She has never sought our knowledge before this. Perhaps she has begun to take seriously the duty with which she has been charged. At last. When I was her tutor, she was the very picture of inattentive boredom. It is one of my deepest regrets that I am unable to impress upon her the importance of study. That is ancient history. What matters now is the present need. The scholars here at your disposal, of course. Allow me to guide the course of your study. Naremil and Noseth have traveled extensively throughout the kingdom of Gondor and can tell you a great deal about the land and our rich history. Noseth has a particularly keen insight for the lineage of the kings and the stewards, and the political intentions of various lords and ladies. Sirhael can tell you a great deal about the Corsairs and the port from which they hail, Umbar, to the south across the bay. So we have a whole bunch. We've got to talk to them and learn about Gondor, learn about Umbar, and learn about Prince Imrahil and Lothiriel. I did have the name correct. Alright, so that is what we're going to do. And unlike modern days, I'm sure we can smoke in this library. So there we are. That is what we're going to do. And especially since we're going to share it with Pethabir, he probably won't complain any. There you go, folks. We have finished up. Next time we come back, we will work on Chapter 10. The Keepers of Knowledge? Keepers of the History. And we will continue on, find out what we can find about Castamere and the Corsairs. So we will see you there. Thanks for coming along. Excuse me. I said I wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning. I didn't say I still wasn't dead tired while I was waking up. So we will see y'all then. Y'all have a good one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming along. Bye-bye.